Digital Romance TV.
Hello folks, how are you? It's Michael Fiore from Digital Romancing with a very serious video. Nora?
No. Well,
oh wait, is it a serious video?
I don't know.
I just wanted to do that.
It's like an after-school special.
What are we actually talking about today?
Should you date your best friend's ex?
How long has it been?
I don't think it matters.
Well, I think it does matter actually, but please explain to me why it doesn't.
So if it's really truly a really good friend of yours and there was a long-term relationship, an actually meaningful relationship with this other person, I don't think you're ever going to survive the friendship if you decide to date that person, no matter how long it's been. Because especially for most of the women that I know, their exes hold a place. You always have that, no matter if they're married to somebody else, you love them in a certain way forever, if it was a serious relationship. And watching somebody else create a new and different story with that person is going to hurt the friendship.
But playing devil's advocate, but Nora,
Sure.
but Nora,
Sure.
you know, her and I just have a real connection, and they were never really that good together anyway, and it was 5 or 6 years ago, and they've both moved on, and Bob, my best friend, he's actually married now,
Right.
and she's totally available, and I really think there's something there, and I've
Right.
always had a crush on her. What's the harm then?
It's a trust point in the relationship with your friend that you're never going to get back. Even if they say it's okay, because there's no, I mean, like if you go to the person, you say, hey, I really would want to do this, that person loves you, and no matter how they feel about their ex, they're not going to want to, like, they don't feel any ownership anymore. They're never going to be able to answer that question without having some sort of agony inside about it.
So here's
right?
here's
because they don't want to
yeah.
hurt you by saying no, but they don't want to hurt your friendship by it's just.
So what I would say is actually, yes, you can date your best friend's ex if you're willing to sacrifice that best friendship.
Yep.
If that is something, I mean, and again, you won't necessarily sacrifice it, because I do know
and
people.
again, I'm talking about real, like, long-term relationships.
No,
not
if you did
somebody
it for 2 weeks,
yeah,
whatever,
not
yeah.
like, but also and it depends on how it ended for your friend. I mean, if that's somebody that your friend always felt like, what if the road not taken? That's somebody that they would have, you know, they felt like they didn't have closure in that relationship. Yeah. Don't go there.
So
that's
the level of emotional intensity matters. I would also say the level of normalization post-relationship matters.
Sure.
As far as, like, you know, people I know around Seattle, between theater stuff and Burning Man stuff and things like that, you still see them, right? And
right.
over time, that normalizes, where you're just
Sure.
like, oh, there's Kara. I know Kara. That's just kind
Sure.
of a thing. And now Kara, who I used to date, is now dating. I never dated anyone named Kara, but hey, is now dating my friend Ben here or whatever else. And it's been a couple of years, and that's okay.
Sure.
At that point.
Sure.
But it can't be too quickly, and you do have to understand that there's going to be emotions. You owe it to your best friend to have a discussion about it before anything really happens, if you can.
Again,
And
if it's a normal, I think.
it's not necessarily, you don't ask permission, by the way.
Right.
If this is something you're going to do, you don't ask permission. You just say, hey, Ben, you know, me and Sarah, really, I think there's something there, and I think I'm going to ask her out, and I hope you're okay with that. And he's flipping me off because of it. Because Sarah was really, really important.
Because that's always the answer. This is what I'm saying. Like,
but
there's no response to that doesn't have a tinge of, like, you couldn't find somebody else. There's so many people in the world, and this is the person you have to, like. I missed out on somebody that I really think I could have eventually, like, had a lifelong relationship with.
A lifelong love affair?
Because I spent 3 years with his best friend, and then I couldn't go there.
Okay, so let's just finish this up then.
Like, you know.
So if it's a relationship that lasted, say, under a year.
I think under a few months.
Under 6 months?
Like, and it also depends on it's different for everybody.
It depends on the level of emotional intensity.
And if they were really your best friend, you know their investment in that relationship. You know, you have an idea of how invested they were in it, how the breakup left them, whether they had closure, whether that, you're right.
Have you seen the movie Singles? It's set in Seattle where we live here. We actually go by the building on a regular basis. If the guy is, like, really devastated, or girl, is, like, really devastated, has pictures of that person, they almost got married, and is still really hung up on them, bad idea.
Right.
If you and this other person, who is the best friend's ex, have a severe emotional connection and you really think it's going to be something and you think this is going to be the person who I should be with the rest of my life, you have to understand that you are basically killing your best friendship in order to make that happen.
Right.
And that's a decision that you can make.
Sure.
right? There's consequences for everything we do in life.
That's absolutely
So
true.
there you go. That's the answer, I think.
That's a great
So we're going to
answer.
end the video. If you want more brutally honest advice, go to digitalromanceinc.com, listen to our podcast, and check out the articles. There's a C at the end of Digital Romance Inc. It's not like a squid thing or anything like that. Bye-bye. If you've got a cell phone in your pocket or purse right now, then you've got everything you need to create incredible romance and passion with the man or woman in your life at the push of a button. Go to digitalromance.tv/TRB to see Michael Fiore make an entire audience of women on The Rachel Ray Show swoon and learn how to use tiny little text messages to have the relationship of your dreams.